Welcome to Alaska! Hello everyone, I'm Vlad and I'm videographer who is also works as a head broadcast technician on board Royal Caribbean cruise ships. And right now I'm under another contract on board Anthem of the Seas doing Alaska season. And before we get into a quad and start flying FPV around, since Anthem of the Seas is my main transportation on this journey, let's take a quick look at this vessel. I joined the ship in Seattle about 2 months ago for a 3-month contract. So far, this is the biggest and newest ship I have ever worked on as a head broadcast technician. For the first 2 months of my contract, Seattle is our home port while we sail in Alaska. Anthem of the Seas is a Quantum-class cruise ship launched in 2015. It's known for features like the North Star Glass observation pod and the iFlight skydiving simulator. Like many Royal Caribbean ships, it also has the Flowrider surf simulator and the rock wall. But what I saw for the first time is the Seaplex, full-size sports court that turns into a roller skating ring, laser tag arena, and even offers bumper cars at sea. Another thing new to me is 270, a 2-deck entertainment venue with 270-degree panoramic windows. By day it's a relaxing ocean view lounge, and at night those windows turn into a giant projection screen for the amazing Spectre's cabaret show. Besides that, guests can find restaurants, bars, pubs, shops, a casino, and plenty of familiar Royal Caribbean venues like the main theater, where great shows happen every night. By the way, back to the iFly. I have already tried it, and it was fantastic. Just check out what crazy things I was doing there. Kidding, that's our instructor. This is me. As for our itinerary during the Alaska season, we are visiting many amazing places, and I'll show you all of them during this episode. Of course, I'll try to fly my FPV quads everywhere we go. While sailing between the ports of call, we pass by breathtaking Alaskan scenery, snow-capped mountains, deep fjords, calm bays, and endless forests. It's pure magic. Our first stop in this episode is Juneau, a beautiful little town surrounded by mountains. I spent some time walking around here looking for a good spot to fly my quad. Pretty soon I realized it's better to get out of the city and find a place with a real wild landscape. And I found one, the Mendenhall Glacier. The moment you step off the bus and see that massive ice field in front of you, you just go speechless. Such a beautiful day, guys, and today we finally arrived to the beautiful place that we wanted to visit for such a long time. We in Juneau, and we took a bus, had a small trip for 40 minutes on the public transportation. And right now, thanks to the beautiful camera girl who is behind the camera, Anastasia, thank you, we're right here next to this Mendenhall Glacier that I'm gonna try to fly right now. So I will start with the 4S battery just because I have it, and I will use this battery to make scouting around to check how the signal transmission works here. Let's give it a try. Damn, I like this backpack. This is the Lowepro. It's pretty small as you can see, but it can fit so much stuff here, so I managed to fit drone with 3 batteries, goggles, remote control, Canon R7 with 3 lenses, microphones, action camera, everything fits here perfectly. I even have space for the water. Since it's very popular touristic area, there is a lot of helicopters flying around. I need to be very careful. According to the certificates and the trainings that I have done, I have to land as soon as I see any other plane or helicopter. So, and also very windy, which also creates extra challenges. Let's do that! Okay guys, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll be able to fly over to the glacier because it's quite far away, and I already have signal drop, so I might need to come back. Sad, very sad, but okay. This is the waterfall. We might come here a bit later as well. Even next to the waterfall, I'm losing the signal already. So definitely, if I'll get to the glacier, 99% my drone will stay there forever. Which brings us to the point that we need to find other way how to get there, and definitely not today. So I will think about it, and maybe we will come back here next time trying to get this shot flying to the glacier, but unfortunately not today. So it was pretty nice, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fly all the way to the glacier, as I already said, but it's fine. As for the battery that I have left, let's better use it on that waterfall. It should be also nice shots there.
What did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. This really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
After a few laps around the waterfall, my battery drained, so I landed safely on the grass nearby. As we ran out of time, we took the bus ride back to Juneau and returned to the ship, where I caught a few beautiful sunset shots. At that moment, I had already started thinking about buying a new quad, one with the new DJI O4 system. Hopefully it will give me a stronger signal, so I can fly farther and safer. After checking out some models online, I have ordered a new bird, but it will take some time before it arrives on board. Meanwhile, Anthem kept sailing through Alaska, and our next amazing stop is Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier. We always arrive here early in the morning, which is great except for one thing. The glacier is right under the rising sun, so it's almost impossible to film it properly because of the backlight. However, the scenery around is absolutely stunning, and I had no problem shooting plenty of great footage here. By the way, you might ask, hey Vlad, why not just fly your drone here from the ship? Well guys, unfortunately that's strictly prohibited by ship security, you know, safety first and all that things, but luckily I have my Canon R7 camera with me, which helps me capture these amazing shots. And I know guys, you started watching this video expecting more FPV flying, but don't worry, there is plenty of that coming up. If you just want to skip ahead to the flights, check the time code below. As for me, I can't help but share these stunning shots of Alaska with those who love to travel, so let's just enjoy these beautiful Alaskan views for a bit.
Too
While waiting for my new drone delivery, I tried to spend my free time in ports looking for a nice spot where I could fly. Here's another one of our ports of call, Skagway, a beautiful little town that looks like it came straight out of an old western movie just located in Alaska. Then during one of our next visits to Juneau, the weather turned rainy and foggy, but we still took the cable car to explore some mountain landscapes. What can I say? Alaskan nature is simply breathtaking. After a nice walk, we stopped by a grocery and headed back on board. Another beautiful place on our itinerary is Victoria, Canada. I took a walk here with my camera as well. These floodplains are just cute, just like the city itself. It's such a peaceful and cozy place, I could easily spend a few months here just to soak in a vibe. Finally, the big day arrived, we are back in Seattle and my new quad is waiting for me at the UPS store. I also caught some nice cityscape shots on my way back to the shed. Just a few more days at sea and we are in Juneau again, this time with perfect weather. Today we are in Juneau again, but I didn't go to Glacier because I spent the last night to set up the drone, and now I found a spot to try out to see how the drone works. According to AirHub Portal app, it's clear to fly here. Let's double check, so we are somewhere here I guess. It says clear to fly. So guys, I bought GepRC VAPOR 5D, that cat version, with DJI O4 on board, with no GPS. I expect that video transmission signal on this drone will be better. First of all, it's new generation of DJI O system. I also like DJI original antennas. I will start with the 4S batteries, 1500. I like when the drone is just so calm and you can start learning this drone slowly. I have more powerful batteries. Hopefully I'll be able to use them a bit later today as well. The ND filters from DJI O3 not compatible with the DJI O4. Today I'm gonna fly without ND filter on DJI O4 unit. To set up the drone, last night I watched the video on Drone Camp channel. He said that it's nice to take off and land in angle mode, which makes sense and quite obvious, but I don't know why I never get this idea, and maybe now I'm gonna try doing this. Seems like we all set. The camera angle is not that high. Oh man, but the quality of DJI O4 is just amazing. It's just amazing, man. Just check out this view. We're getting closer to the sunset, but the sun is still pretty high. The weather is amazing. Now it's just middle of September. The video transmission signal, at least so far, just good. Of course, I'm just flying too close around myself, but no any interruptions so far. But to be honest, I don't like this spot to fly. I will run out of the battery very soon. Actually, it's time to come back. Let's go back to the angle mode. It seems drone works just fine. Let's connect it to the 6S battery. Here's a lot of space for the big batteries on this drone. I put camera angle higher, something like 40 degrees, 45. Only downside of this drone, probably these really little Nano RX receiver antenna. It might need to be replaced, and I actually have already ordered it, the bigger one. Everything seems to be fine. So much power. How fast I got to the almost to the top of the mountain. It is just crazy. There is still no any issues with the video transmission, which is just amazing. I'm really surprised with the DJI O4 quality, just amazing. I have one more battery and I'll be definitely flying one more time. The good thing that seems no one cares too much about me flying here. Although I have all the papers done, I have registered myself as a drone pilot. My drone, as you can see, has all the stickers for US, for the Canada, for the Europe. I have the papers in my bag in case if police want to talk to me. Hopefully those papers gonna help me. Even if it happens, at least I have something to show them. I don't know how do you guys flying legally or not. I'm at least trying to be a legal pilot. Otherwise, a Ukrainian guy with FPV drone somewhere in US might look suspicious. So it's definitely better for me to have those registrations. I think I got some vibrations. But again, this is just new drone and I'm flying it just for the first time. But I like the control, so I can say that it's tuned pretty well. And of course it's just crazy fast. I just got some jello. Just look at these guys. This is just amazing. Speechless. Shouldn't fly too far away, but I wanna try to climb a bit higher. See those lakes there? Let's look around. That is my ship over there. Let's go down. And this was only the point when I almost lost the signal. Okay, I got it. But still, it's pretty good. Not that bad for the first time. I didn't crash drone. It flies just amazing. Hopefully next time when we will come back to Juneau, if the weather will be good, I will try to go to Glacier. And let's see if I'll be able to fly there with this GepRC VAPOR 5D. It's time to come back to the ship. We continued our journey on board Anthem of the Seas, sailing through Alaska's charming channel surrounded by its incredible snow-covered peaks. Unfortunately, the weather started to change, it was getting colder, and in the next ports I couldn't fly at all. Rain welcomed us in Skagway, and it kept raining in Sitka as well. I actually haven't told you much about Sitka yet, but I really hope I'll get a chance to fly here one day. The only stop where the weather showed a bit of mercy was Victoria. Later in the evening, the skies finally cleared and the soft autumn sun came out. Welcome to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. It's a beautiful day and I'm looking for a spot. I already showed you downtown Victoria, and obviously flying here isn't really an option. First, there is a lot of air traffic from all those seaplanes, and second, it's a busy city where drone flights are basically restricted. But while I was waiting for my new drone delivery a couple of weeks ago, I spent some time exploring the coastline. And it looks like there are a few decent spots for flying, places that surprisingly aren't marked as no-fly zones. The shoreline here is pretty rocky, but well, I don't really have much of choice. I would like to fly from the top of this hill, but it's too crowded there. People came just enjoy the sunset and I don't want to bother them with my drone. I might will bother them with my drone flying from here anyway, but at least it's not gonna be that obvious. The weather is pretty much perfect today, despite that this is like late September already. And it's still warm, no wind, dry around, so it's just perfect environment to fly. As for the drone, I have to say it's not only great for flying, but also amazing drone in terms of maintenance. I have disassembled it very easy, and I have sealed the flight and speed controller a few days ago, and it wasn't that complicated, although I did this first time. I didn't do anything to the DJI O4 unit. It's too advanced for me so far. I also didn't touch the receiver because I expect to get a new, bigger antenna, and after I install this antenna, I might will seal receiver as well. It might be not the best idea to take off and especially landing here on these stones, but unfortunately I don't have any other choice. Now it's finally time to compare the video quality from the DJI O4 system with my DJI Osmo Action 4 camera, so let's do that. Just a quick note, I have already ordered the ND filters for the DJI O4 unit, but they haven't arrived yet, so to keep things fair, I didn't use any filters on the Osmo Action either. Also, I'm recording in D-Log on the Action 4, while on the O4 unit I didn't apply any picture profile simply because it's a VTX camera that needs a clear view. Okay, I have one more battery, but I don't want to fly anymore, to be honest. Not much things around that can be different from what I got already. As for the drone, it flies just amazing. So much control. I have so much confidence flying this. What do you think about quality of DJI O4 unit? We will definitely make more tests later, but now it's time to come back to the ship. After leaving Victoria and having another turnaround at Seattle, we started our next voyage, and once again the same story repeated. Rain in every single port except Victoria, so my next flight happened pretty much in the same spot. Okay, so Victoria again. Today is much more windy. It's 5:45. I'm not gonna wait for the sunset, and I came to pretty much the same place where I flew last week. It was there on those stones, right there. This spot I like much more. There is much less people around here today than it was last week. And in this particular spot, I have soft grass on the ground, which might be beneficial for landing. And recently I received some new batteries, guys, that I wanna try out today. I didn't fly them yet. So the first one is Lowepro by Tattoo, 1800 milliamps. You might know this one, 6S. And one more, which is more interesting to me, this is my first Lion battery, whatever. Auline 4000 milliamps 6S. So battery for the long range, as you might know. I also want to try it today, and it's gonna be my first time experience flying Lion battery on FPV quad. Let's set up the drone and take off. The first battery, a 1400 mAh drained, so it's time to try my new one, the 1800 mAh pack. It's definitely bulkier. Here is how it looks like mounted on the quad. Right away I can feel the difference, much more power, the drone feels sharper and quicker, the flight time also increased, though I didn't measure it exactly. Since I'm flying in the same location again, I only keep the more interesting passes here, just not to stretch the video too long. And of course, the video quality test between the DJI O4 and the Osmo Action 4 camera continues. Take a look and see if you can spot the difference. To me, there is still a slight gap. Even though the image from DJI O4 is much improved compared to the previous generation, the Osmo Action 4 still looks a bit better, also because it records in D-Log. So how are you guys? Excited about my crazy freestyle? The wind today is so strong that I'm not even sure if I have to actually try this Lion battery today. I have no idea how does it work and will it be able to fly against such a strong wind or not. I'll save testing the new Lion battery for later in a more suitable location, and since the sun already dipped below the horizon, I'm heading back to the ship. The next day we returned to Seattle, where I finally received a new antenna for my receiver. I installed it successfully and sealed the receiver with the silicone coating, the same as I have done for the flight and speed controller before. This is our last Alaska cruise for the season, and I'm so lucky that on our final visit to Juneau the weather finally cleared up. That means it's time to head back to the glacier and try to conquer it once again. Finally, the last cruise around Alaska this year. How lucky am I that today, when we are last time here in Juneau, and it's my last opportunity to come here to try fly above, or at least just to get to this glacier, we got a nice weather. It was cloudy, now it's sunny, seems like it will be cloudy again, but anyway, there is no rain. The ground just a little bit wet, which is absolutely fine. The temperature is amazing. Today is like end of September. Let's not waste time, set up the drone and take a fly.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never
So first I wanna fly something like that. I cannot fly far away because it's a small battery, and also I'm just making a test to make sure that the signal transmission is fine. Okay, so we can see this beautiful river that turns into the waterfall. Let's try to dive. Woo! Nice.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain.
And now just let's try to get a bit closer to the glacier. Of course, we're not gonna fly there on this battery. Just checking.
Okay, just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You want telemetry lost.
Okay, telemetry lost. It's time to come back. Let's try to fly like that.
But I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be telemetry lost.
I will fly back just to not take a risk because the battery can drain. And I think I also hear the helicopters, which is a cue for me to land.
You're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
People are taking pictures next to the waterfall.
As you fade away.
Hop. Okay, all good. The next battery that I'm going to fly, 6S 1800 milliamps. Since I'm gonna fly the bigger battery now, of course I wanna fly further than I did just now. I wanna actually get to the glacier now. As always, it brings its own challenges, making maybe simple things scary, or maybe they are not that simple. You tell me, guys, if you have experience flying a long range. We're not flying long range yet. I have one more line battery in my back bed that we're gonna fly next, but we're getting longer and longer range. So let's give it a try.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that.
Telemetry lost.
Stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Battery is almost drained, 355 volts. Okay, last but not least, Lion battery 6S 4000 milliamps, and it's going to be my first experience flying Lion batteries. I have no idea what's the major difference and how does it feel. I will use it right now trying to get closer to the glacier. Let me set it up on the drone. Now the drone is much heavier than it was before with the light batteries. I was about to fly, but the helicopters are coming. Let them pass. That's it? Anybody else? The first thing you notice right away, lithium-ion battery can't deliver the same punch and speed as LiPo pack. Looks like this flight is going to take a while. Nah, let's use a bit of editing magic to get there faster.
As for the flight, guys, you saw everything. We pretty much got there. Of course, I would like to fly further above the glacier, but the fact that I managed to fly there is already cool. And most important, I managed to return the drone back, which is also great. Drone is good, batteries are fine. So I would say we did it. Congratulations. And I'm run out of time actually, so it's time to come back to the ship.
On the way back, I stopped briefly at Foodland to stock up on supplies, then headed back to the ship. Our next port turned out to be just as kind with the weather. Just look at that view. Looks like we are in for some great flying today.
Finally, I got proper transportation to ride around. I grabbed the bike today from the ship. I rented for the $5 and we're on the Skagway. It's the last day, second last day of September. But you just check how the beautiful weather is. And of course, Skagway, such a beautiful, lovely place. But this is not what we are looking for, right? Let's get out of the town and try to fly some FPV. My gosh, the weather is just so amazing. Freedom! It's just so hard to believe that in the end of September it can be such a warm weather around the Alaska. I got my jacket with me, I got sweater, but both of them are completely unnecessary today because the weather is just beautiful. So it's very, very comfortable, and especially after I was riding the bicycle. So now we came to this river, and I plan to come to this river for a while since I discovered it first on the map. Then I also had some walk here nearby. They have the Gold Rush Cemetery here, and then just an amazing waterfall. I'll show you some footage. So I was here before, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but then after that we had a terrible weather. It was no chance to come here, and finally this day has arrived. The weather is amazing, no strong wind, so seems like it's a perfect conditions to fly drone. So let me set up the first battery and we're gonna do that right now. Cut! It's just so funny, as soon as the sun hidden just a little bit behind the cloud, it comes minus 4 or 5 degrees. I mean, this is how I feel. So it became much more colder. and I had to put my sweater back on. So I will start to fly with the little 1400 mAh battery with no action camera attached, just to browse around, search the area, check the penetration, connection and all that jazz. Yeah, this river is just so beautiful. I knew that it's gonna be amazing. Wow. Oh my gosh. Nice. A little bit of freestyle from Vlad. Wow. Keep it lower, brother. I still have to be careful to do not bump into some uninspected dry tree. Nice. Woo-hoo. Yeah, right now, guys, you can see only the DJI O4 video quality, 4K, 60 FPS, and as for me, it looks just amazing. I mean, compared to the previous generation, this is really, really good. It will be nice if we will catch train here. Yeah, now after flying for a while with this drone and with the new DJI O4 system, and also having that big TBS whatever, the antenna for the receiver, I start getting more and more confidence flying the drone. Now I can rely on it much more because I know that I can expect much better signal transmission all around. And this is just amazing, guys. I mean, I didn't get used to it having the DJI O3, the previous generation, but the difference seems to be pretty much significant, and this is really cool. Really, really cool. Even now, I'm hidden behind some trees, but the video signal is 35-36 megabit per second. This is just amazing. Nice, really, really nice. I really enjoyed it this time, and especially with no action camera attached, it's so much easier to fly. But now I'm gonna change battery to 1800 milliamps. I will put the camera on, and maybe we're gonna try to climb this mountain. Maybe we're gonna fly to that one on a line battery, we'll see. So just let's go with the flow, okay? Okay, so this is the waterfall that I told you about before. Nice. I couldn't even imagine that I'll be able to get it here. Unlikely I'll be able to fly very close. Nice. Freestyle is in the building. Okay, now it's definitely the time to come back. But I'm so excited also about the fact that there is no wind today pretty much at all. It's not only sunny, warm, also no wind. It's just so nice. I just have to land. Oh yeah. Okay, so now it's time to try the long range again. I tried it first time yesterday in Juneau. After checking battery later, I realized that I still had enough time to keep flying. So that's why I have to get used to this battery, how they drain, how to rate the voltage correctly and all that stuff. So let's just fly to that mountain over there. Let's see how far can we go, if we will be lucky to come back and do not lose the drone. So here we go. Wow. Not quite understand what is going on. First of all, drone like pushes aside by some reason, and the second thing, the battery already looks drained. Okay, as soon as I release throttle, I can see at 3.5, quite confusing, and I'm pretty far away, and I don't have GPS on the drone, by the way. I forgot to mention that before. This is also what limits me. Okay, let's just enjoy the view. Let's come back home through this beautiful view. Yeah, it definitely should be nice cinematic music here. Oh! Woo! I'm not showing you my landings, guy. Believe me, there is nothing to be proud of. But anyway, I didn't damage the drone. It just was so awkward all 3 times, so never mind. Guys, so we had a nice flight today, I have to say, and tomorrow we have the last port, which is Sitka, and I really hope that I will be able to get off and get some nice footage tomorrow as well. See you there! I missed the bike today. When I came to rent the bike, they all were giving out already. So I just decided to walk to the nearest spot that I thought, and I'm still thinking is more or less acceptable for flying. At least it's not the prohibited area here. We have some beautiful little islands here. Just want to try to fly around them. As always, hopefully I will be able to get some good shots. Let's go. So first I have to test if I'm not gonna lose connection behind this island, behind these trees, this little forest here. Seems like to be okay.
This place is no doubt stunning, but since there is really no good spot for takeoff, I can't let the quad fly too far out to bold. The risk of losing the signal is just too high. So I'll keep it safe this time. Let me just put together a short montage with the best passes here, and then we will move on. We are leaving Sitka now, saying goodbye to Alaska. As it's our last cruise here for this year, it might be the perfect moment to end this episode, but I can't leave you guys without a little bonus track, because my journey on board Anthem of the Seas isn't over yet. A few days later we arrived in Vancouver, the starting point of our Transpacific crossing that will take almost a month. Having some free time, I took a walk around downtown, a very nice and cozy city, I must say. It would be great to spend more time here, but as always it's time to head back to the ship. After being loaded with gas and provisions, and before starting the actual crossing, we spent one overnight in Seattle and then began our long voyage, many days at sea with just a few stops on the way to Sydney, where the Anthem crew and guests will enjoy the Australian season for the next 6 months or so. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to me, as I'll be finishing my contract once we get there. After 5 days in the open ocean, we spent a day floating near the beautiful Napoli coast. The next day we arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii. And this is the actual bonus I told you about, guys. I had booked a bike in advance this time, so I wouldn't miss out like it happened in Sitka, and got ready to explore the city.
I'm on the horse again, Honolulu, Hawaii, and it feels like just yesterday we were in Alaska with all that winter around. But now, just look at that! It's a real summer. The temperature is higher than 30 degrees Celsius, and it's just so beautiful place. And guess what I'm doing? Of course, looking for a new place to fly my quad. Okay, this one seems to be cozy. I think nobody likes to fly inside the city. If only it's the city that you live in and you know everyone around, but when it's the city where you just first time in your life, you have no idea how the locals will be reacting on the fact that you are flying the drone. I have this bicycle rented because I really wanted to go outside of the city, to the mountains, but after riding around here, up and down the hills, I realized, man, no, I'll not be able to ride those 7 miles to the mountains, so I'll better try to take off here. This park is actually nice, pretty spacious, so definitely safe place to take off and land. Of course, power lines all around and the buildings around, but anyway, let's just have fun, right?
You might say excuses, but honestly, flying in the middle of the city is really complicated. Unfortunately, I can't capture any truly exciting drone shots here, so how about we try changing the spot?
Thanks to the magic of editing, we are here in this park. It's a bit smaller, and here we're much closer to these little mountains, so we can fly over there. Let's go!
Well, looks like changing the spot didn't help much either. Most of the area here turned out to be private property, and flying over people's backyards isn't really the best idea. So, since you're still here, folks, I won't torture you any longer with this already pretty long video. Let's head back to that nice shady spot under the tree at the park where we started and wrap things up.
Yeah, very sad that I wasn't able to get nice shots. To do so, I have to go outside of the city, somewhere to mountains, but unfortunately I'm not able to due to the lack of the time and transportation, so it is what it is. As for the drone, as I said before, is just amazing. The signal transmission is much better now, so now I can really rely on it. Video quality is also improved. I can spot the difference compared to the previous DJI O4 system, and maybe one more generation and we won't need action cameras anymore. Let's see. My contract is about to finish in 2 weeks. After that I'm coming back to Spain, and hopefully I will have more time there to browse around and fly my quads. So hopefully I'll be able to share some interesting content with you guys, so subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to reply. We started in Alaska and finishing in Hawaii. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. Hope to see you in the next one. I'm Vlad and I'm videographer. Love you all. Cheers.